Good morning everyone. Today we're going to be talking about how cold damage works and the cold resistance so that you can go to the Gorge area without taking any damage and getting frozen and all that jazz. Because remember, next week the Ancients are going to be spawning there during a storm and you want to be prepared if you want those 7-star rarity weapons, which I covered in yesterday's video. So if you haven't seen that yet, please check that video out first before coming back here, because that will be a huge motivator for you guys to start building up your gear as well as your augments and stuff like that so that we can go to the Gorge area safely. But before we jump into all of that, if you're new to the channel, I upload NGS content daily. So if you do play this game, I would really appreciate a subscribe as it really helps out the channel. Anyway, without further ado, let's begin the video. Alright, so the very first thing I want to talk about is when we go to personal and we go to character information over here, this is the low temperature damage resistance. As you can see here, I have 30% low temperature damage resistance already because of the region mags. Each region mag that you feed will give you 10% low temperature damage resistance. So when we open up the map over here, you can see that there are 3 region mags over here. So, you know, there's one up here in North Kavaris, there's one down here in West Kavaris, and the last one is over here at Central Kavaris. You want to make sure that all 3 region mags are happy and are full so that you get your 30% low temperature damage resistance, because it is going to be very, very helpful. However, other than this 30% that you can pretty much get for free, especially if you're on ship 2, which is like super populated, well, there are more ways to get this low temperature damage resistance. So what I'm going to show you right here is through your armors. So there are red box armors scattered around in the world called the Sesato armor, Arga, as well as the Shezna. However, these two are not the only armors. There is of course the Belta armor over here for range users. And as you can see, there is the augment on this armor piece already called the Decold Might. So what this actually does is it gives you low temperature damage resistance plus 25%, as well as melee potency plus 25%. So should you build the Sesato armor? That is the #1 question I get all the time. I think if you have not heavily invested into your Dark Falls armor or the Terminator armors over here, then sure, it's fine to use these armors, because the Decold Might is actually really good. Getting that 2.5% melee potency is quite a big deal, because if you look over here, if you're just using regular Might 3, you're actually only getting 2% melee potency. So obviously the Decold Might is superior because you're getting that 0.5% more potency, replacing your regular Might 3. However, if you are like me and you already have a piece of armor with Addy capsules on it and you're fully decked out with very expensive augments, then I do not think you should upgrade to the Sesato armor. The reason for this is because there are many ways to get 100% resistance to the cold damage, which will allow you to just chill in the Gorge area and take no damage. As you can see down here, I have low temperature damage resistance plus 50% and low temperature damage resistance plus 100%. So where do you get these little things? Well, actually, it's quite simple. You literally just farm in Lost Central and you get them from the trials. So the 100% one is obviously not guaranteed. There is a level of RNG involved in that. However, I just farmed at Lost Central and I was able to obtain 5 of the 50% ones and 2 of the 100% ones. However, here is the important part. We will be able to exchange for these low temperature damage resistances probably next week. So how do I know that? This is because of the icicle orbs over here. As you can see, mysterious energy material that can be obtained in Kavaris trials, etc. can be used to exchange items with Resso in Kavaris. So Resso is right here in Kavaris next to the Gorge preparation people, and she is actually the supply manager. If you guys paid attention to the NGS headline, you actually see a sneak peek of her shop where you can exchange different materials in order to get these boosts. However, just having the icicle is not enough. What you're going to notice is when you're going around the open world gathering materials and stuff, you'll notice that you'll collect these notable Kavaris persimmons, as well as Kavaris squid, as well as notable Kavaris meat. Please do not eat this. Please do not use this as your food buff, okay? These are going to be used in order for you to exchange for those buffs through Resso. So you want to save all of your notable materials as well as your icicle orbs, because these things are going to be used in order to trade for your low temperature damage resistance plus 50% and maybe even the plus 100%. However, enough talk, let me just show you the gorge. It's currently blizzarding right now, so that means that, you know, gorge is extra cold, I guess. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna go to the gorge area right now. So I'm fully unbuffed, and you can see over here that I only have 30% low temperature resistance, right? So we're gonna head straight to the gorge right now. So once you arrive to the gorge, you're gonna get a notification saying, you're gonna take damage, you're gonna die, please take care of yourself. And once the dialogue disappears, then you're gonna start taking damage. So what I want you to see is just look how much damage I take. We're about to freeze. So we took 108 damage, right? However, what I'm gonna do now is I'm actually gonna take quick food and I'm gonna eat my Kavara's recipe. This is just all Kavara's food. I will make a separate video about this recipe specifically because this is my own custom recipe, which fits my playstyle very well. But if you eat 10 of any type of Kavara's food, you will get low temperature damage resistance plus 30%. So we're gonna eat this recipe right now. And so you're gonna see that we get this low temperature 30%. And when I press escape, I go to personal and info right here. But you're gonna see I have 30% over here, and I used to have 30% here, but apparently one of them timed out, so we only have 20%. So either way, I have 50% resistance right now. So you saw earlier I took like 100 and something damage, right? Now let's see how much damage we take. You see I take 65 damage. What we can do now in order to give us even more resistance is we eat the 50% cold resistance. And now when we go to personal over here, we go to character information. So as you can see here, I have 50% plus 30%, so that's 80%, plus 20%, so that's 100%. So let me just fully heal to show you this. I take 0 damage in the gorge area now. You see, I am free to roam around the gorge like a nomad and take no damage. Look, I can even play in the water. Whee! And I will take 0 damage. So there is no more debuff. You will no longer get frozen. You will no longer take any damage at all. And you can explore the gorge as freely as you want, basically. It's very, very nice. And so since you're able to explore the gorge area, you'll now notice that if you come all the way to the northern part to where I am right now at E3 or E2, that there is this giant cave over here. So when you come to this giant cave, there's going to be a notification here. When you look at it, it says, when I go into this cave, it feels like the flow of my photons in my body slows down. What's with that? And when you walk into the cave, you're actually going to notice something really cool. So let me just walk in, and you can see here you got this beautiful, beautiful looking boss arena where the ancient is going to spawn. And this is because when you come in here for the very first time, you actually get a notification saying that something is encased in ice and it spawns over here. And when you talk to this right here, oh, it actually says right here, there's a rumor that an enemy encased in ice has been seen nearby. Some say it has started to move when the ice melted. Scary. And what's even more important is when you're in this arena, you actually get reduced healing by 50%. So when you use a rest assign or any of these healing flowers, it actually only heals half of the usual amount. So as we can see here, there's this little symbol on the bottom left corner of my screen where we get healing reduced or healing debuff. So basically our healing effect is reduced by 50%. In order to prove it to you, I'm going to walk out of the cave and you're going to see it disappear. So you see, once I walked out of the cave, that debuff has disappeared, so our healing is back to normal. But if we walk back into the cave, boom, there it is. Now healing is reduced by 50%. So in this cave is gonna be where the ancient is gonna spawn. So it's really nice that the ancient has a set spawn location. And remember, this is a 32-man zone. This is an exploration zone. So we're gonna have 32 people in this freaking tiny arena blasting away at a gigantic boss, and we're gonna have reduced healing. So it's gonna be epic. It's gonna be so epic. Now if you look at the map over here, you're gonna notice that it's actually like pretty much under Mysteria Woods, and that is because we went through the gorge over here and we went under into a cave. So it's still considered in the gorge. However, if you look at the minimap, you know, a lot of people might get confused and be like, yo, where is this boss? Is it at Mysteria Woods? It is not. You have to go to the gorge, go all the way here to this bridge area, and then there will be a little cave over here. In order to get here very quickly, I would advise you to maybe teleport to the ruins area and just jump off the cliff and just glide across, or maybe just go to the Mysteria Woods over here and just run off this cliff edge and then go under the cave. I don't think going to the actual gorge, teleport, and running this entire length is going to be fast. because remember, the ancient mob only spawns during a storm. So you are going to need to wait for a snowstorm to actually happen before coming here, because that is when this boss will spawn. Okay, so in conclusion, if you do not want to take any damage in the Gorge area, you just need to make sure that you have 100% harsh environment resistance and you will not take any damage in the Gorge area. Now, there are many ways to get the harsh environment elemental resistance. One is, of course, by using your region mags. Make sure you feed all 3 region mags. That gives you a free 30%. Your food buff also gives you another 30%. If you eat any 10 of the Kavara's food types, that will give you another 30%. So you can essentially get 60% for free just right off the bat without having to use any of the augments or any potions. Now, on top of that, if you have any potions, you can actually use the low temperature damage resistance plus 50% or even the plus 100%, and you can gain immunity for the harsh environment for 1 hour. However, if you don't want to deal with consumables and you would rather just have a solid augment onto your armors, then don't worry, there is the Sesato armors over here, the Arga as well as the Belta as well as the Sheza armors over here all have the D-Cold stat, which actually gives you plus 25% resistance to it. So if you wear 3 of that, you actually have 75% resistance already. So just having that plus the region mag or just having that plus the food buff is going to give you 100%. So you could just rock that and you'll be immune to the low temperature damage in the Gorge area. However, if you are like me and you have invested a lot into your Dark Falls armor or the Swazest armors already, then maybe you might want to just go the consumable route. It is going to be a little bit more annoying because, you know, you are going to need to consume these every hour. However, for me, it is not a big deal because in order to obtain these consumables, all you need to do is farm at Lost Central and complete those trials and you will obtain these potions. However, if you have horrible RNG, do not worry. You can craft these later down the line, probably starting from next week, by collecting icicle orbs as well as notable consumables. So please do not use your notable consumables as food buffs. You want to save all of these because they will be used in order to exchange for the low temperature damage resistant potions. So yeah, just don't waste them. If you do get them, just hold on to them because they will be useful either next week or the week after. So just stay put, okay? And last but not least, when the Ancient is added into the game next week, it will spawn in this area right here under Mystria Woods. Now, you cannot teleport to Mystria Woods and just walk over because it is actually underground. There is a cave. In order to get to the boss arena, you're actually going to need to come to the Gorge area. So you can teleport over here to the Beluga Ruins and then just jump off the cliff over here and just glide across because there is a cave entrance right here, which will lead you into the boss arena. And remember, in the boss arena, we will get a 50% healing debuff when you're in the boss arena. So do keep that in mind. I feel like forces are probably going to play a big part there because, well, it is a 32-man zone, so I expect this boss to be extremely difficult to kill, and so a lot of healing is probably gonna be required. So yeah, make sure to bring your A game. Special thanks to all the members for supporting the channel. It really means a lot to me. Thank you again. But yeah, that's all I wanted to cover in today's video. Hopefully you guys found it helpful. If you did, I would appreciate a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye!
What can I say except you're welcome, for the heels